Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make my little bunny rabbit bracelet. As you can see with this particular bunny, he or she has a 3D little snout to it, which is a little bit different from some of the others that are out there, and obviously it's a bracelet, not a figure. So what you're going to need, I'm using white for the fur and pink for the inside, well, for the ears and the nose, and I've also chosen to do alternating pink and white stripes for the bracelet, but you can choose whatever colour you want for that. I'm using little seed beads for eyes. They're size 6 and I'm using the black ones. And you're also going to need a clip of some sort. I like to use the Q clip, and you can buy those from Lucky Loom. They had them in their skin tone kits, which I think are out of stock at the moment, but they are coming back in stock soon. You can also find these on Amazon in a variety of different neon colours. We're going to get started by threading our eyes onto a rubber band. I'm using a little metal threader I've made from a twisty tie, and I have a tutorial on YouTube on how you can make one. So just thread your beads onto the band like so. Remove that, and they can just sit to one side waiting for us. Like that. We're going to use a single loom. The arrow is going to be facing towards us. If you don't have an arrow, it's going to be the open part of the peg facing towards you. It's going to be an offset configuration, which means that columns 1 and 3 are slightly lower than column 2. We're going to be double banding, and that means you take 2 bands and you place them over the pegs together as if they were one. And this makes for a stronger, more robust feeling character at the end of it. So let's get started. Make sure you push everything down, because we are going to be layering to do the chubby cheeks. Now for the eyes, what we're going to do, take a single band and you're going to twist it 3 times and place it across those 2 pegs there. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. And this was a trick taught to me by somebody that follows me on YouTube. And it basically stops the beads from sinking to the back of the loom's head. So it's a fantastic trick. Thank you once again. Now I'm going to put an end cap here, so single band, stretch it and wrap it around my fingers a couple of times and pop that there. We are going to do ears next, so I think, or let me put this, we'll put a crossover band on first. Let's stretch this single band out and make a shape of a triangle like that. Okay, now what we're going to do, move to the bottom of your loom. We're going to make the ears. So to do the ears, we're going to be using single bands which you'll stretch, put in a figure 8, loop on themselves, and we'll start doing those here. And you need to have 6 downwards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's how you work out where on the loom you should be starting this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6 is going to go across here, but we're not ready for that yet. We want to do the other side first. Now, double looping them on themselves makes things smaller and tighter, and that's what we're trying to do for the ears here. I'm using pink down the middle, and you're going to be doing 2 of these. So here's my last pink, and then we'll do the 2 white. 1 and 2. Now we need to put an end cap on this one here, so take a single band and wrap it around your fingers twice. And now we start to loom this one ear so that we can put it in place. So oh, I'm sorry, let me tell you fibs. Let's try and put some crossover bands on, and we're going to again loop them on themselves to do that. Gosh, that would have been bad, wouldn't it? So now it's time for us to start looming. Grab down past that end cap and get the 2 top white bands and loom them across to the corresponding side. And the next 2 on the top, and the last is on the bottom. And things are always a bit tighter when you've loop them on themselves, so it makes it a little trickier to loom up, but it's still doable. Now when you have a crossover band, you want to actually push that back with the back of your hook to get it out of the way, so that when you're looming, you're just looming the 2 bottom bands, you're not actually looming the crossover band in as well. Gosh, there we go. Can't see for looking. Okay, we're going to take a single band, loop it on itself, and this is what we're going to tie it off with. So it's a bit trickier than normal. Place it on your hook and twist your hook so the back side of the hook is going against the bands. Pull it round to the back side of the peg, and then we're going to reclaim the band on the hook. We're not tying off, we're going to lift it as gently as we can so we don't break anything. And I always recommend, when you are just pulling things off the loom, pull in the direction of the shaped peg, because if you pull it the other way, you're going against 2 little jaggedy pieces as opposed to a smooth edge, and you've got more chance of breaking your bands. Okay, so stretch it out a little bit, and here we have our first ear, and that is just going to pop on top of his head, her head, its head, just there. Now we're going to do another one. So remember, we've got to count for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the side that we're starting here. with a twisted band like that, and work your way down. And pink in the middle. Now let's do the middle. Oops, not white, pink. Gosh, that one wanted to escape badly. And then our last two white ones here. And we mustn't forget our crossover bands. Again, single band, and loop it and stretch it across in a triangular shape. We're going to put an end cap here, and we will dig down and start our looming. So go past the white end cap that we just put there and grab the two bands that are on top and loom them across. Keep hold of that end cap so it doesn't fly off. And again, we're going to take a single band, stretch it out, loop it on itself, and we're going to push our hook down the middle here and grab that band, twisting it so that the back side of our hook is going to be against those bands and not the hooky side to snag it. Reclaim the end of the band on your hook. And now we're ready to take this off. It is a tight fit because of the double looping. So there we have our second ear. Let's stretch it out so it gets into the right shape. And that is going to go this side. Right, you can put it elsewhere, but it might look a bit odd. Now we're going to build the construct of her face. So let's get some double, do I want double bands? I do want double bands. One and two. Then take a pair of pink, and they go here. And this, you don't have to count down where you're doing this, just away from the main part of what you're looming. So you've got white, double white, double white, double pink, double white, double white, and double white. Okay, take a single band, stretch it into a figure 8, and that is going to be our crossover band. And then we're going to put end caps on all of these, single white band, and we're ready to start looming. Digging past the end cap, you're going to loom up, pushing past the crossover band, loom up. Hold the end cap in place so it doesn't fly off. And then we're going to put all of these on our hook. Like that, and take a single white band and move these across onto it. And reclaim just like that for a second. Make sure things are sort of evened out a bit. Then on the other side, I'm using a different hook for this. Grab the end caps, which will be 3 loops for each one. Another single band, and we thread those onto that like that. Take this first side and place it here. We'll take the second side and place it here. This side is going to be placed on the band with the eyes, as is that. Okay, and try and even it out a bit so it looks like that. Next we're going to do our layer. So you're going to need 2 white bands, and they go from this peg to here. 2 white bands here, and 2 white bands here, and the same on the other side. 2 white bands here, and 2 white bands here. Now we're going to do the arms of our bracelet. I'm going to use a combination of pink and white, and I'm going to double band it so that it's not as flimsy. So start with pink and white. And we're going to do pink little end caps on either side here. So take a single band and wrap it around your fingers twice, and the same on the other side. like so. And get these bands out the way, and we are ready to start with our looming. Dig down past the pink end cap and grab those 2 white bands, and we're going to loom this up, this side up, all the way to the ears. But as you get to the face, you're only going to be looming that first layer. So if you need to wait for me, that's fine. So after that last pink one, you see here we've got 2 layers on each peg. We're going to just loom that top layer, which is the top 2 white bands. And you want to be careful, and I just did it, that you don't incorporate the bands for the snout. So let's try that a little bit more carefully, Kate. Less haste will win the race. There we go. Now this side, you want to be careful that you're not catching the eyes. So take that off like that. Let's do the other side. Pull down past the pink end cap and grab the white bands. And again, we're here. Now if it makes it easier for you to find the ones, pull this out slightly to the side, and then you can just see very easily which are the ones that you need to grab to pull up. See, do that, pull it out to the side, you can see it's those 2, and loom up. Now, we need to dig down past the end cap here and grab the 2 that are on top, and for me, they go to the left, so that's where I'm looming them. And these ones go to the right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take this off the loom, the top layer, just 2 pegs worth, hold it out to the side, dig down, and I'm finding my 2 bottom white bands and looming them up. I'm going to put my bands back on my hook, but instead of placing them back up here where they were, I'm going to place them here, because that will give him his little chubby cheeks. So we'll do the same here, take them off, 2 pegs worth, so 1, 2, pull it out, grab the 2 bottom white bands and loom them up, then put the bands back on this peg, not this peg, and then we're going to dig down and loom up to the ears on either side. Now, the fun and games start with the snout. What we need to do is lift this snout up enough so that we expose the hook, the peg below it, and can loom up like that. Then we need to put it back down and pull it down the other way so that we can dig down and grab the band there and loom up. Okay, so not too tricky. Loom the middle one up, and the sides you're digging down for the bottom 2 bands and looming across to the middle. Now we're going to get 2 white bands. I use 2 because I use 1 as a backup. If one should break, you've still got the other one holding it there. Push your hook through the center and out through the side. Grab that band on your hook. Twist your hook so it's the back side going against these bands and doesn't snag it, and pull to the outside of the peg. Then you're going to take the 2 bands closest to you, up, over and off, and pull tight into a slip knot. We're ready to take our rabbit off the loom. Now remember, you've got a peg there, so gently ease him off that. to try and poke his eyes out a bit, like so. These bits I like to just hide behind, so I grab my hook and find some suitable bands to sort of slither that behind. If you wanted to put an S clip or something like that there as well, that's perfectly fine. I'm quite confident, for me anyway, that they will stay in place. Now the only thing we need to do is attach this to each other. So I'm going to put my hook in the end cap, grab my clip, and I'm using, as I said, a Q clip. I'm going to drop it, see if it bounces, and I'm going to attach one end to that side, and then I'm going to make sure that we're not twisted in any way, and we're not, and I'm going to attach the other end this side, and then close my clip like so. And there we have our little 3D faced bunny rabbit bracelet with chubby cheeks. Now his eyes will pop out a little bit more as the day progresses, I'm sure, but there you have it. Hope you enjoy making it. I look forward to seeing yours. Take care. Bye bye.